in Virginia, the Democrats in the General Assembly are working on a plan to redraw the congressional maps in the Commonwealth to sort of fight fire with the Republicans. Can you talk about that a little bit? I saw that there's been some progress, and a judge has even said to the Republicans who were trying to sue to stop you, that's not going to work. And this process is moving forward, it sounds like.
Yeah, the process is moving forward. The Republicans tried to throw a Hail Mary in here at the last minute to try to slow us down. And you know what has prompted this is, President Trump. He's the one that caused all of this. He got Texas and other Republican states to change the rules in the middle of the 10-year decennial that we normally do after a census. He did that. And because of that, we can't, the rules of engagement have changed, And we cannot put our heads in the sand and pretend that if we, ignore him, he'll go away. No, he'll just continue to take. And just 9 days ago, well, less than that, North Carolina changed their maps. And so neighbor right there, they're disenfranchising Virginians in Texas and North Carolina because that impacts all of us in the entire country if we don't act. So we had to give Virginia voters an opportunity to weigh in. And that's what all this is. It'll ultimately be the decision of the voters. That's our process. And we just began the process to get a referendum to the voters. And similar to what they've done in California, we have a trigger. Only if the other states do it, then we get to respond. And that's what we're doing here. We have a responsibility to do this because he won't stop unless he is stopped. And hopefully they will stop if they see what Virginia's doing. They'll slow down and say, do we want to continue to go down this road? Because if not, other states are going to continue to do it.
Interesting. And Mr. Speaker, how many seats potentially could Democrats pick up in Congress if what you do is ultimately successful?
Well, we have 11 seats now. It's 6-5 Democrat. I don't see why, we couldn't draw 9, 10.
Interesting.
The way the state is set up, that could happen. And that's why, Republicans really need to think about whether they want to continue to go down this path. But what Democrats and states that lean blue cannot do is stand by while Trump makes a joke of our democracy. And that's what he's doing now.
Yeah. And what do you say to the folks? I mean, because this is up to the voters in California right now. And I think Arnold Schwarzenegger has come out against this. And there are some folks who say, we shouldn't, two wrongs don't make a right. That just because Trump and the Republicans are doing it doesn't mean we should do it, because it is sort of anti-democratic to go in there and redistrict and tinker around with the congressional maps purely for political reasons. I think I know what your answer is, and you kind of just said it, but what's your response when you hear that criticism?
I mean, I think we have a right to defend ourselves. Republicans talk about defense a lot. This is one of those things that we have a right to defend ourselves. And I think this is the only way that we can defend ourselves against a blatant power grab by the president, who is directing legislative leaders going into Indiana now and telling them they got to redraw maps.
That's right.
Missouri, North Carolina, Texas. I mean, on and on. So we can continue to try to pretend he'll go away, but he won't. He'll continue to do it, just like he did when he called down to Georgia and said, I need you to find 16,000 votes or whatever. This guy is not shy about taking power and using it, as we've seen. And so if we want, I remember when Obama wore a tan suit and everybody lost their minds. This guy literally knocked down the damn White House. He knocked down half the White House, and the Republicans like, oh, we're good with that. And so he continues to do these power grabs, and we just can't continue to normalize this stuff. We have to push back. It's the American way to push back against tyranny. In Virginia, we have a saying, sic semper tyrannis. That's always the kings. We don't like kings in Virginia. So I think we're going to go back to our roots, and we're going to push back against this wannabe mad king.
Interesting. Well, and you're absolutely right about that. And it's one of the reasons why I'm proud to be a Virginian. And I always love that slogan for the Commonwealth. And let me ask you this, Mr. Speaker. There's a little election coming up next week, from what I understand. Abigail Spanberger, according to the latest poll that I think just came out from Roanoke College, shows that she's widened her lead over Winsome Earl Sears. And I don't know if it has anything to do with those ads where they show Winsome Earl Sears saying, I am speaking. They're not very flattering.
I am speaking. Looking all crazy. I'm like, oh my God, lady, what is going on? Does your medication need to be retuned?
Oh my God. I have seen those ads, and they're quite effective, but
they need a tune up on the medication. It's something off, right? Something's happening. I don't know, but I'd never seen anything so unhinged in my life from a politician. This is not about just polish. This is about just being unprepared and unhinged and not big enough to handle this job.
And I remember from growing up in Virginia that, I mean, you talk about state Republican parties. The Republicans in Virginia are among the most extreme Republicans in the country. And people might not think that that's the case because they're close to Washington, D.C. and stuff. But in part because they are near the nation's capital, you have a lot of very conservative activists who reside in Virginia and mess with the politics of the state of Virginia. And Winsome Earle-Sears, to me, strikes me as just a very, I was a little shocked that they put her up for this and didn't talk Jason Miyares into doing it. He's running for attorney general again. Maybe he thought he can't win, so that's why he's running for attorney general again. But Winsome Earle-Sears, to me, is kind of like all the way to the far right. It's shocking to me that they put her up.
She is running with a lieutenant governor candidate for the Republicans who is gay. And she literally said that she can fire people for being gay. She just said this a couple of weeks ago in public. Stuff that you think, okay, you'll be embarrassed to say that quietly with your friends. But she said it publicly that she can discriminate against people for being gay and fire them. Like, I thought we had settled that like 20 years ago. But obviously, this whole Constitution thing, she doesn't believe in it very much. And so, but at the end of the day, Abigail Spanberger will win because she's focused on everyday issues. She's not focused on the culture wars that MAGA wants to have every single election. Every single election, they want to talk about the pee and poop caucus. They're the pee and poop caucus. Where do kids go to the bathroom and what are they doing in the bathrooms? And it's driving them
a lot of bathroom stuff in Virginia now. I see these ads and I'm like, I went to high school in Annandale, Virginia. And I mean, we just didn't, who talks about where you go to the bathroom? It's just weird. It's really weird.
We're obsessed with it. They're not talking about where kids are learning. We got an economy that's flailing because of President Trump and his tariffs and taxes. We got a government shutdown. They're not talking about that. It's like they don't even say Trump's name on the floor. He's like Lord Voldemort from Harry Potter, like him who must not be named. They won't even say his name. Like they're so terrified and intimidated by him. They won't hold him accountable for anything. Democrats have called out our leaders from time to time. They won't call him out for anything. Knock down the White House, nothing. Extrajudicial killings in the middle of the ocean, nothing. Tariffs, nothing. Pay himself $230 million. Mike Johnson, I don't know. I know nothing. He like Colonel Schultz. I know nothing.
Right. From Hogan's Heroes. Yep, I remember that.
He just knows nothing. Whatever happens.
We watched the same reruns growing up, I think.
Yeah. I still watch them, buddy. I still watch them. But at the end of the day,
also Doge. I mean, to me,
Doge. The government cuts,
Donald Trump does not want to win that. Yeah.
The cruelty, the SNAP cuts. They could give the food they could pay people SNAP benefits right now. They have the money to have an emergency fund for a shutdown, and they purposely and very cynically are not going to use those resources to pay the SNAP benefits.
Well, and I hate to we're having such a nice conversation and everything. I have to ask you a hard question. Jay Jones running for the Attorney General. What's your thought on that? It looks as though from the polling he's not going to be able to pull this out. The text scandal is really hurt.
He's going to win. I'm now
live.
Jay's going to pull this out. It's going to be slim, but he's going to pull it out. I think folks.
What do you say to Democrats though who are like, "Gosh, I don't know if I can vote for this guy after what he said"?
If you like Abigail Spanberger, you have to support Jay Jones, and the reason is because Jason Miyares has proven time and time again he will do the bidding of Trump. He will sue Abigail Spanberger every single day of her gubernatorial term. He will make her life miserable the entire term. He's yet to stand up to Donald Trump one time. He won't even join the other AGs across the country suing the federal government to release the SNAP benefits so they can pay their hunger or get the resources to folks who depend on for food. Jason Miyares won't do anything. We know this. And so if you want Abigail Spanberger to have a successful gubernatorial term for her 4 years, you got to get Jay Jones in there and keep it moving. Jay, I've known him. His dad was a circuit court judge and a friend and a mentor. We went to church together. He sat 2 pews in front of me, Gerald Jones, Judge Jones. I know how Jay was raised. He made a mistake, a huge mistake. He apologized. He's apologized. He said he was sick to his stomach. When he heard,
I was going to say, does he feel bad about this? I mean, he
feels sick to his stomach. He feels kind of dumb too because this was done 3 years ago. He clearly didn't realize that when he sent it to the Republican 3 years ago that he was so disqualifying 3 years ago that she would wait 3 years to release it. He didn't know who he was dealing with. And so at the end of the day, it's like, it's like you have a fire raging in your house and you wait 3 years to dial 911. And that's kind of what he did. But I think he understands he made an error, but that does not disqualify him from being able to serve the Commonwealth of Virginia and be a good partner for Abigail Spanborough.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I had to ask you that. Couldn't be doing my job if I didn't. But really appreciate your time and love the energy that you bring to the conversation and the quotes from our favorite reruns from growing up. Hogan's Heroes. That's a good one.
I know we too old, man. I'm old, bro.
No, we're just getting wiser, I think is what it is.
Okay, I'll take that too.
Mr. Speaker, thanks for your time. Appreciate it. Best of luck next week. And we'll talk on the other side. Thanks so much.
Yeah, you can talk to me after I win these 4 or 5 seats I'm about to pick up. We're at 51-49. I'm going to grow my majority. That's a promise.
Interesting. Yeah, and the Republicans thought they had you over a barrel at one point and that they were going to take the House of Delegates, and they weren't able to do it. And it's kind of amazing this in a southern state like Virginia. I know it's the New South and it's very progressive in many ways. That, I mean, the Democrats are about to have the House, the Senate, and the governor's mansion, it seems to me, coming up very soon.
The trifecta, baby.
Yeah.
And we can get some things done because, I'm an Aggie. I'm Texas Aggie. Got my ring, right? Diehard college football fan, number 3 in the nation.
Yeah.
But I'm also an Ag major. And so I feel comfortable going in those rural communities, just like Abigail does. She was on the Ag committee in Congress. So we're able to communicate across the board. I won't use that term that we're so progressive. I think we're very right there in the middle. I think Virginia got it about right. And I think we're going to continue to do well.
Perfect. All right. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Appreciate the time. Thanks so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. That's the Speaker of the House of Delegates. And I as a Virginian, I do enjoy talking to somebody like the Speaker, because I mean, what happens in these state houses really matters. It's where, I mean, a lot of policy gets made and passed that affects people very deeply. And I think there's some really serious issues on the line. You have to assume that if Winsome Earl Sears becomes the governor of Virginia, which I don't think that's going to happen, but if she becomes the governor of Virginia, that reproductive rights are going to be on the line in the Commonwealth of Virginia once again. I mean, you're going to have some very, very far right MAGA conservative type policies coming down from Winsome Earl Sears, who is, as I was saying earlier, probably the most radical Republican I've seen run for governor of Virginia in my lifetime. I've never seen somebody more radical than Winsome Earl Sears running for that office. And I think that's just stating things as they are. I think that a lot of people in Virginia would agree with that. My thanks to the Speaker of the House of Delegates, Don Scott. That was a lively conversation. He was far more entertaining than I thought he was going to be, and certainly not a boring politician. He was a lot of fun. My thanks to all of you for watching. Really appreciate it. Still reporting from Washington, I'm Jim Acosta. Have a good evening. I'll see you next time.